Touch the leg, everybody. Well, as usual, to start with, I hope and pray that you all are doing great and keeping really safe and sound. For today's session, I would like to continue with the pickle module, and hopefully I'll be able to finish all the programs with regard to pickle module. At the fake end of the earlier video, the earlier week, I remember giving you the brief introduction on pickle module, followed by two examples. The first one is pickling and the second one is unpickling. So today, I will rewrite both the programs real quick so that I'll be able to relate the following three programs of searching, updating and deletion, so that you'll be able to link the first two programs with the later three. So to start with, let us recall the definition of pickling. Whenever we enter data into the RAM, that's one format. But when this information has to be stored in files on disk on a permanent basis, the format being used is what we meant by byte stream. So that's again another format. So basically, the pickling is nothing but a process which helps us to convert a format used to retain information in the active memory to a format or byte stream which is used by files to be stored on the disk, in the disk on a permanent basis. So when you write such object, that's nothing but pickle, but when you withdraw or when you fetch the information from the file back to the active memory, this is nothing but unpickling. Okay, so and then there is another aspect to the pickle. What happens with pickle is you could also write the object or the structures like the list and the dictionary directly to the files. If not for pickle, you cannot do this. In the earlier programs, we have either written or read the text data into the files or from the files. So with the help of pickle module, you could actually write or read the objects like the list or the dictionary. But in our example, I would like to stick to the list in order to make the programs little easier to understand. So let's get started. The first program of today's session is inserting or adding record using pickle module. I've explained the logic behind both the programs in the last video, but for the sake of connectivity of the first two programs with the later three programs, I'll do this real quick. And then for you also, it will be a kind of visual revision. So first things first, let's import the module by the name of pickle. I'll make some spaces and then followed by f equals open, and then now this time I'll be using the current directory. Till date I've been using the absolute file path, right? So I think it's a good idea to be using the relative path for a file. So let's open, and the file name will be stew.bin and then followed by the file mode. Now since I am going to write the data into the file mode will have to be WB. So this file path is now called as relative. Relative to what? Relative to current working directory. Now the question is, where is this current working directory? I have shown you how to fetch the complete address of the current working directory. I'll just get rid of this. I need to import the OS followed by print and then os.getCW, if you remember correctly. So this is the module and then this is the function. So if you run this, I see this absolute file path, and this will point to the current working directory, or in other words, the folder in which the Python files are stored. So we'll just copy and then try to reach the current working directory. Well, you see this address, right? So this particular address points to the current working directory, which means this is where the Python files are stored. All right, so let's go back and then get back the earlier two statements. So if I just mention stu.bin, this file will be created in the current working directory, which I've just shown you. So let's go to the third statement, and then it will be record, okay, empty list. This will be empty list, and then while true, I'll not spend much time with the explanation, and then we'll have three data. The first one will be roll number, int input, enter roll number, okay, followed by name, input, enter the name, okay, and then followed by data equals roll number followed by the name. So here I've just prepared a list called data with two elements, roll number and name. So the first data will be appended to the list by the name of record. So it will be record dot append, and then you have the data. So as and when the loop keeps executing, you will have the record of the first student, which will be appended to record, and then the next student's data will again be appended to the record list. So this will go on and on as long as you decide to come out of the loop. So choice equals input, do you wish to continue? It'll be either Y or no. If the choice is equal to, or just have it converted to uppercase and then have it compared to the big no. So if the condition is true, I would like to leave the loop and then come out. Okay, so once I have all the data appended to the record list, it's now time to dump the record into the file. So the statement will be pickle dot, the name of the function will be dump, and the data to be dumped is stored in the list called record, and then this will go to the file called stu.bin, which is handled by file handle of f. And then let's print a message saying records added. All right, we have done this program already. And then finally I would like to close the file handle. Okay, so this program will help us to insert or add some records into the file called stu.bin. So let's run this. Okay, let's run this. Enter roll number 1, Leo. Do you wish to continue? It has to be Y. Roll number 2, let's say nay. Do you wish to continue? One more. Roll number 3, and then I'll write here Frankie, and then do you wish to continue? N. Press enter. That's it. So the records, seem to have added into the file. Now let's get on with the next program called unpickling. Unpickling means reading the files back from the file onto the active memory. So this should be pretty simple. Okay, so again, let's import the module of pickle, and then to start with will be, let's open the file first. F equals open, and then the name of the file will be stu.bin. Okay, just to find out whether the file has been, the stu.bin has been written into the current working directory, let's go back and check. Do you see this? So this file has been stored in the current working directory. Okay, right. So now this time the file mode will be RB. I need to read the content of the stu.bin, and then I'll have a record, and then followed by pickle dot, the name of the function will be load, and then F. Okay, so with this what happens is the load function will read the content of the stu.bin through the file handle of F, and then it'll be transferred into the record. So what basically this record is, it is nothing but a nested list. Just to simplify the understanding, try to print the content of record. Let's print this. Okay, so this record is nothing but a big list with 3 individual lists. All right, so the first element is the record of the first student, the second element is the record of the second student, and then third element is the record of the third student, right? So we'll just format the output, we'll just make it look a little better. So now the next step will be for x in record. So what happens with this particular statement is the x will assume the value of first element for the first loop. For the second loop, x will assume the value of second element, okay, and then so on and so forth. So roll number is equal to x of 0. So initially this x will point to the first element. So this as a whole is pointed to by x. X of 0 means 1, x of 1 means Leo. Alright, so let's get the name x of 1, and then we'll just print it, print roll number, and then we'll have a tab, escape sequence for tab, followed by name. That's it, I guess. And then finally we need to close the file object, right? So let's run this. There you go. I get to see 1, okay, 1 followed by Leo, 2 name. For the second loop, 2 name will be printed. For the third loop, 3 Frankie will be printed. So this is how you read the record using pickle module from the file. All right. Okay, now let's go to the third program, which is called searching. So under this program, we are supposed to prompt the user to enter the roll number, and based on the roll number, the corresponding name will be printed. So this should be a cakewalk. It's almost similar to the second program, but you need to add some little modification. So import pickle, and then f is equal to open. The name of the file is stu.bin. The file mode will be RB. It is based on searching process. And then we'll have the record. We'll have the empty list by the name of record. We'll make use of this found variable. Let's have 0 to start with. Okay, earlier we made use of false and true, but at times you can have integer values also. And then to start with, for x in, okay, I need to get it first, and then okay, I'm sorry, or I'll just do this. Record equals pickle dot load, and then I'll just write here f, and then I need this found is equal to 0, just in case if the roll number is not found, I have to print the message saying the roll number is not found in the file. And then let's get on with the loop. For x in record, okay, and then I need to also prompt the user for the roll number, right? So I'll just use RNO equals int input, enter the roll number to search, enter the roll number to search. All right, okay. Okay, now the next step is, as usual, X will assume the first element or the first record of the first student, the roll number and the name of the first student. So I need to, find for a match whether the first roll number matches with the first roll number in the file, right? So for this, if x of 0, what is this x of 0? X of 0 is the first roll number, or in other words, roll number of the first student. So I need to check whether the roll number of first student indeed matches with the roll number to be searched for. Just in case if there is a match, that should be the end of the program, right? So just in case if there is a match, why don't you print a message saying record found, just to make the program a little interactive, okay? And then followed by name equals. Now the question is, how do you refer to the name? The name will be referred to by x of 1. All right, x of 0 is the roll number of the first student. X of 1 is the name of the first student. All right. So if the condition is true, which means the roll number that I'm searching for is found, hence I need to print its name as well. And then let's change the value of found to 1, just to figure out in the later stages that I've indeed managed to found the student that I'm looking for. And then now, since there is no need to get on with the loop, let's break out of the loop. All right, okay, that's it, I guess. And then if the value of found is still 0, which means this condition has never ever been true. Initially the value of found is 0. If this condition is never ever found, which means the roll number that you are looking for is not found, hence this statement will never ever get executed, which means the found value will always remain to be 0. So if the value of found is still 0, I would like to print a message saying roll number is not found. Or just to make the program a little interactive, I'll have R and O. Okay, so that's it, I guess. And then finally I'll close the file handle f dot close. Okay, let's look at the program again. Import pickle, the second statement looks alright, loaded. Okay, everything looks fine. Okay, now let's run the program. Let's run the program and check. If I enter 1, I get record found name is equal to Leo. As you could see here, the roll number of the first student is 1 and the roll number to be searched for is 1. So the value of x of 0 is 1. 1 matches with roll number's value, whose value is to be searched for. So if there is a match, straight away record found will be printed. The name of the first student will also be printed. Okay, as a result of which I get Leo here. Found will be changed to 1 and then break. With break statement, you leave the loop. The loop number 2 and the 3, will not be executed. And there is no need as well, because, that should be the end of the program. I found the record that I'm looking out for. Now, just in case, let's run the program again. Say number 2 is nay. So when the first loop gets executed, this condition will be false, so these three statements will not be executed. So X will now go for the second element. The second element has 2 name, roll number as 2 and the name as name. So since I've entered 2 as the value of R and O, the X of 0, which means the roll number of the second student, which is 2, now matches up. Hence, the name equals name will be printed. So this is simple and straight. So this is how you write a program in order to search for a particular record.